Restaurant, and we were eating dinner, and I happened to be showing my boss my Pokemon app and what I could do with it, and this girl like 3 tables away just happens to see me make the universal I'm catching Pokemon symbol, which is flick, and she comes running over with her phone. She goes, "Oh my god, do you play Pokemon Go?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that's how
total stranger.
And just so you know, nobody was drunk at this point. But that is also the universal greeting. At that point. We had some Bloody Marys later. The universal greeting for Pokemon players is, "Oh my god, you play Pokemon Go?" All one word. It's a whole new language.
Is it a hashtag? Is it a
it should be.
Is it an Alexia hashtag?
It should be. "Oh my god, you play Pokemon Go." And then we immediately open up our Pokemon lists and we start comparing what we got. And she's like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "I'm from Vegas. I got that in Vegas." She's like, "Oh, I need to go to Vegas." And then she shows me what she's got. And I'm like, "I already have 4 of those." And it's great.
I love that. I'm a huge fan of, I do a lot of social media for a lot of groups here in town. And one of the main things that I follow in Nevada are the state parks, because we have so many here. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, their social media people are on the ball, and they're posting, "Hey, come catch some Pokemon while you, stand in the wondrous outdoors."
So there are 2 places you are most likely to find Pokemon and large groups of Pokestops: at a park and at a cemetery. I'm not certain about the cemetery thing, but every cemetery I have driven by is just full of little Pokemon Pokestop blue pointy things just all over the place.
You know what? I've actually heard some criticism about Pokestops, Pokemon places being in a cemetery.
Almost every church has a Pokestop too.
As being disrespectful to the dead?
I don't think so.
I don't agree with that either. When I was a kid, one of the adventures we had were wandering through the cemetery.
I would happen to think that my ancestors would be totally happy if we were wandering around and we happened to see their, "Oh, what's up, Uncle Joe?" And, just keep walking around and having a good time and enjoying ourselves. Only if they were really cranky when they died would they really give a shit. But the other really awesome thing about Pokemon is that it opens a world of memes, and it opens a world of double entendre. Because really, how often can you say, "I'm going to go play with my balls"?
So there's a new phenomenon that's been ever since Pokemon came out. And I think Toxie posted this. I thought it was Sierra because it was so classically Sierra, but
it was not I.
I was corrected, and it was Toxie that posted this article about Pokemon Go and Chill, replacing Netflix and Chill.
So, let's see. Let me get to the part where it's like, there we go. Okay. While it's pretty obvious that walking around with your head in the game, literally, could be distracting and cause a few incidents, there's one side effect of Pokemon Go use that no one could have predicted: horniness.
So this is an article that we posted on our Facebook page.
It's from the Daily Dot.
Scroll down, called the Daily Dot, about Pokemon Go and Chill. So not only Reddit, I think, was the first place to go crazy with postings about, "Hey, let's catch some Pokemon and Pokemon, and have sex," or whatever things that they posted. And then it moved over to Craigslist, where we know what happens with 2 things on Craigslist. They just get down and dirty. So some of the things that we posted, or that I pulled from the article, were, let's see, from Reddit, there was an age play fan. Do you know what that is? Age play?
Yes, that is where you play at being an age other than what you are. It could be a baby that you need your diapers changed and bottle fed. You could be a teenager who just needs a naughty spanking from the principal.
Right, and he posted that he wanted a hot trainer on Pokemon action and to maybe bang their way through a region or 2. Another posted in Reddit /random acts of Muff Dive, wanted a partner to meet up, level up, and catch a Jigglypuff and hook up with.
I've already caught a Jigglypuff. Boom, yeah. And a Goldeen. What now, bitches?
In Texas, one sweet lady wanted a knight in shining techwear to go on Pokemon hunting dates 24/7. Self-described busty woman in Portland sought a 420 friendly FWB to join them on hunts. Man wanted an adorable nerdy girl who would join him to watch anime, go to conventions, hang out, just talk, even go out and catch Pokemon once the servers stop fucking up.
Oh,
Because I guess
that was
is
my
huge.
ad.
Yeah, in the first couple of weeks, it seems to have loosened up in the last few days, but in the first couple of weeks, they seriously underestimated the number of people who would be trying to log in at the same time, and they've crashed like 1,200 servers or something like that. They had to triple, and they're still not covering all their server needs.
So pull up your sheet and let's. So some of the ones that were on Craigslist. My favorite, of course, is the very first one, which is "Let me take a Pikachu."
Play with some Pokeballs than each other's.
Just make sure you're only on the blue team.
Go Team Mystic. Other trainers only.
So you can be kind of selective, I guess.
Yeah.
We can play Pokemon and blow each other by the creek.
I know I'm all Team Valor and you're all Team Mystic, but I'm willing to look past that.
Let's burn some incense and catch Pokemon while we fuck.
Fuck yeah. The incense will bring them to us so we can perform oral sex on each other while we throw balls at some mons. The hype was real fam.
The hype was real, fam.
See how unsocial I am?
Pokemon Go and car sex.
Woo! We'll suck dick for Haunter. Haunter's one of the rare ones.
Crazy. So, I guess if you want to get laid, Pokemon might be the way to go.
Yeah, I want to recount this little ad that was put up. There was a Pokemon Go and Blow ad was posted by a straight Tempe, Arizona man who sought another man to play out an elaborate encounter in which the date would command him in a threatening tone, "Do you want to lose your Pokemon? No? Then suck my dick." The ad explained that while he would love a man to force me to go down on you, he was not interested in sex. We're not sure what Tempe's male for male actually knows the definitions of the word sex and straight, but regardless, it sounds like a pretty good time.
So much like we can here on the Sin City Bounty, Pokemon can get just as sexualized as we can sexualize it. So,
Want to play with my Jigglypuff? You know what I
great
really
story.
like? A good slow poke. Hold on, I've got more coming.
Okay. We'll pepper them throughout.
Oh, check out my Abra and my Kadabra. These are all names of Pokemon. The fact that I can pull these out of my brain levels up my nerd card just that much.
I wonder if the Geek Lounge guys are covering this.
Probably, and I hope so. We should do a Pokemon crossover episode with them.
Let me talk about one more nerdy thing before we go on to the politics of the... for those of you who do comics or like comics, Wonder Woman, of course, is one of the iconic comic book characters from the DC lineup. And her latest artist, or the guy who's made her super popular with the movie and everything, is an artist by the name of Frank Cho. And Frank Cho was scheduled to do 24 covers for the Wonder Woman comic for DC, and he quit after cover number 4, I believe, and was talked into staying for 5 and 6 until they could find his replacement. But he left because he signed a contract, but in the contract, verbally, he got that he would not be censored, or he would have free reign over his art, and the writers and editors of the Wonder Woman comic started sending him notes about how he needed to change this and cover up this because Wonder Woman was showing too much skin. So he did not like the idea of being censored at all because he is an artist. I'm sure Michelangelo was a pay for it, get it kind of guy.
Yep. Michelangelo also put penises on top of churches, so
Yeah. So, but in today's world, when you are a famed artist, nobody can really tell you what to do because you can quit and get a job somewhere else. Super easy. And that's pretty much what he did. He said, fuck this, and I'm not doing this anymore.
So my question is, I haven't followed this particular article. So I remember Wonder Woman of the 80s. I remember Wonder Woman of the 70s, not firsthand, but through my nerditudes. Wonder Woman's always been kind of skimpily clad, but it was a high-waisted, low-hip, like the pant legs started below the hip line.
Yeah.
Kind of underwear thing, and a
Bustier.
midriff bustier, yeah, but it covered basically everything. Even her belly button was covered. You got like 6 inches of skin here, and you got boob swell, but no actual cleavage. So if
Well, the Wonder Woman of TV had cleavage. Linda Carter had some cleavage.
okay, so yeah,
Right.
but she didn't have like open to the navel cleavage. She had like this kind of cleavage, just a little bit,
Yeah.
not a lot. Enough to be like, hey, there's boobs there, right?
Well, I know that there is a large contingent, and so I'm kind of like on both sides of the fence with this, right? So there's a large contingent of feminists, I guess you might say, and sometimes I'm with them. If you're going to have iconic people out there in the universe, and you have a choice or a chance to draw them in a way that's not demeaning, then you shouldn't. You know, if you can clothe them even more, because if you look at the comparisons between a female superhero costume and a male superhero costume, there is a huge, huge difference. Unless you're Aquaman and then you're running around in your underwear. But most of the time he's wearing
Superman's in
tights
his
that are
underwear.
green, right? But he still has tights,
Right.
right? The women are nude. They have the bikini bottom and then they're completely nude.
Right. So, okay, so the difference is a little bit of stretchy, couple of millimeters of stretchy fabric that's colored between one and the other. Okay, so we get that women have been sexualized in the comic book world since the very beginning.
Right.
So there are two things we can do with this. We can either put them all in hijabs, we can put them all in burqas.
Well, I don't think you need to go that far. Maybe just cut, stop at the cleavage. Rogue didn't have cleavage that I can remember.
None of them really had cleavage. They had boobs. You could tell they had boobs.
Right.
And maybe there was like a keyhole cut out for a little bit of cleavage line. Most of them were dressed the same way as guys. So yeah, you can either put them in matching outfits to the guys and make them as close to the original iconic outfits as they were, or you can just leave it the fucking alone. Just leave it the same. Like the outfit she wore in '79 should be the outfit she wears today.
I do believe the Wonder Woman of Frank Cho does wear armor now, as opposed to just completely bare skinned to the boots, right? So she's got greaves, she's got arm, what are those things on your arms what are those? Bracers, those kinds of things. I believe that she's wearing a little more armor than normal, but she's still in the whole bathing suit, bikini kind of costume.
Wow, that is barely covering her nipples.
Well, that one, yeah. You might want to type in, you got Frank Cho.
Yeah, I put Frank Cho in there.
Yeah. So see, she's got the, we'll get a,
She's
we're
always
gonna
had
get a
tall
picture
boots.
for back here, but she's got knee pads now. She does have arm, what are they called again? Bracers.
She's always had the bracers. Those were her wristbands of truth or whatever the fuck they were.
It's no longer a bikini. She actually does have a small
Skirt.
a skirt-ish kind of looking thing.
She's more dressed than most gladiators are.
Oh, from the actual Gladiator movie, yeah.
She's got more clothes on than a gladiator does.
But it's still the bustier kind of thing. I don't know. My boobs would totally pop out of that.
Mine would too, but it's still... Okay, so you get boob swell. So there's some boob swell here. I'm going to post this picture up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There's some boob swell, and there's like the hint of possible cleavage. But honestly, this is more covered up than she was in the 70s.
Yes, very much more.
I think this is more covered up than she was in the fucking Batman versus Superman movie.
It was dark when I saw it, so I don't know.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. So there's that. There's that whole story. Wherever you fall on the side of the fence for that is up to you. I'm torn between the two because I don't think women need to be scantily clad anymore to be a superhero.
I do.
Well, of course.
But you got a penis.
And sex does sell.
That's right.
But Wonder Woman's pretty hot, just from the neck up. I mean, whether it was Linda Carter, that Wonder Woman, or Frank Cho's version, or practically any other version of Wonder Woman, she's beautiful, just like most women are. Anyway, so.
And she's smart.
And smart and Amazonian.
Yeah.
She can kick some ass.
She is an Amazon, isn't she?
She is an Amazon, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, if you just Google Frank Cho Wonder Woman or just Wonder Woman and go to Google Images, you'll see some super, super nothing costumes. I think there's one where her ass was even showing, where she was showing her ass to the audience.
I think that may have been fan art. I don't think that was
pretty
Frank
sure it was,
Cho. Yeah.
I think Frank Cho's version looks more like Xena.
She does look
is
very much
very
like
Xena-ish.
Xena.
The costume and the
Yeah.
little skirt.
Damn it, where the hell did that thing save itself to?
It is very Xena-ish. But if you look at if a lot of times you have to remember that this is the comic books, right? So they've got to make it cool looking, as opposed to if you go to a Ren fair and see a guy dressed in armor getting ready to fight a battle, because you're not going to actually go back in time and see this. Those guys are covered from head to toe, whether in leather armor or metal armor or whatever. They're covered in head to toe, but that's to protect themselves. And most of them wear helmets and everything. The mobility factor as a superhero, I think it would become a little encumbrance. Is that a word? Encumbranced? You would be
Encumbrant.
You would be
Encumbered.
you would be encumbered.
But I mean, look at the superheroes that have capes.
Capes
Now-
kill.
No
To
capes.
me, that's insane.
Capes kill.
Yeah.
No capes.
Friends don't let friends wear
Wear
capes.
capes.
I don't know. I really like this Wonder Woman. I don't see anything wrong with her.
She's beautiful.
She's built like a brick fucking shit house. Look at the muscles in those thighs. I mean, she is stacked.
But I do think that if he were to put, what are the upper leg greaves called? Are those just upper leg armor?
Tights.
If she were to have upper leg armor and shoulder armor, she would still look freaking hot.
Yeah. I mean, you could put her in like a colored onesie underneath all of this. I don't know what fucking color you'd put it in, but
I'd go with the blue.
the blue?
Yeah, the blue over her skirt.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Huge fan of Wonder Woman. Always have been.
Although I gotta say, with having nothing to encumber your shoulders, she has a much freer range of motion than other people do.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Anyway, Frank Cho's Wonder Woman posted up on our Facebook page. Check it out. Check it out.
All right, so you want to get into
Melania or Trump Pence? Trump.
I could get into her.
No, you know what? No. You know what? Let's go into your visit with.
Oh, so I had a really good friend come in from San Diego. She's from the Curvy Girl Guide, the group that we're a part of, the secret group that we never talk about that everyone knows about. She came into town for a wedding for a friend of hers, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go on a girl date with me?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" She's like, "I want to go see Puppetry of the Penis," and I'm like, "Me too."
Which is a show here in town.
This show is actually played internationally, and these two guys have played this show internationally, but there's a couple of different troupes that are playing it now in different locations. This Puppetry of the Penis has been playing at the Erotic Heritage Museum for the last 15 months, and they're doing very well. We were there on a Friday night, and it was packed. Like, we had to finagle our way to get seats together. It is two dudes who are completely, frontally, top to bottom, naked. They have socks and shoes on. But that's understandable. They're walking around on the floor at the Erotic Heritage Museum. I would wear socks and shoes too.
They don't do actual sex there, unless they have a demonstration.
Still, it's not off the strip, but it's off the strip.
No.
It's on Industrial. The road is called Industrial. If you have a road called Industrial in your town, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think you should probably wear shoes and socks most places you go anyway.
Yes, except at my house. So anyway, great show. They use their cock and balls, and they create puppets. Various and sundry other ones. My favorite was the Cock Nest Monster. Yeah, that was my favorite, the Cock Nest Monster. They kind of encourage catcalling from the audience, and they will play off of it. And any of you who knows me knows I am a totally awesome catcaller. And when you throw some full male frontal nudity in front of me, oh my God, I had people rolling in the aisles. These guys had to stop and laugh when I would say shit. It was funny. But the ladies in front of us got a little rowdy because they'll come down the aisles and I get to sit in an aisle seat and, they'll like give you a high five or give you a close up of the Cock Nest Monster. And it's a lot of fun. High-fiving is cool. Smack on the arm is cool. You do not touch the talent. That is the rule in Vegas. I don't care if it's top-only nudity or if it's full nudity. The law in Vegas is if they're naked, you don't get to touch them. They get to touch you, but you don't touch them. The lady in front of me did not seem to understand this fucking concept and smacked one of the actors' asses so hard that when he made it all the way back up to the stage, he had a red handprint on his ass for quite a while. The first time, the reason he turned around and she ended up smacking his ass is because she tried to grab his crotch and smacked him in the dick.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And he turned around to run away and she smacked him in the ass hard enough to leave fucking fingerprints on his ass. I was like, that's not cool, man. Not cool at all.
Don't they make an announcement at the beginning of the show?
Yes, they do. So I am going to try to get their fluffer on. She's a big girl comedian who is fucking hilarious. Kathleen Von Hopper, I think. I'll have to take a look at my notes. And the two guys from Puppetry of the Penis, they're local. I'm going to have them on. They're amazing. One guy's gay. The other guy's straight and married, which is sad. But when they first throw off their capes, because they come out in little blue capes, and they throw them off, and you're like...
Capes! No capes!
Well, they throw them off. They don't keep them on. It's just for, effect to, tease you into seeing the penis.
It's making an entrance, yes.
When they threw off those capes, I was like, that's what they're like soft. Those men have lucky partners. And then they took their balls and stretched them up and out and over and around, and they did the same thing to their penis, and then they're doing all kinds of crazy penis athletic aerobics, and I'm like...
Were they Indian?
Oh,
like,
no.
Because, they do... I've read articles where some of the Hindu priests in India do exercises to stretch and... tie and manipulate their genital area.
No, one was a white dude, one was a black dude. And they were the same size penis, at least soft. My question, and I'm going to ask them this when we get them on the show, because I've already talked to them. I stayed after and waited till they came out fully clothed and was like, hey, I do a show, I want you on. And they were like, okay. So I want to know how they do this and not get hard, because if I was playing with my genitalia like that in front of a shitload of people, at some point I would probably get at least a little bit of a hard on, like a semi. They were fully flopped, like no rigidity at all.
Oh, I wonder if they use like chemical compounds too.
I don't know.
That's crazy. Because I could, Mike, if I just brushed up against him, he was like, bling. So
all I have to do is make my significant other think about my boobs, and he's instantly hard.
Right.
Let alone...
That's some hella self-control right there.
Yeah, it's some serious self-control. And I really, really want to know, like, how the fuck they do it. And we're going to ask them when we get them on. I'm contacting them this week. We're going to have them on. I'll let you guys know when we're having them on. We obviously, for Ustream reasons, we can't record any of their actual penis puppetry. But they did allow us... You're not supposed to take photos or videos, but there's one act where they will allow you to pull up a video, put up a photo. I think I can post that video to our Twitter feed. Can I post it to Twitter?
I don't know. On Twitter, I think you can, yes.
Okay.
We can put it If you send it to me, I can put it right. No, I don't want to put it up on our website. I can put it up on our blog spot.
There we go.
We have a Google Blogspot blog.
Pecker page.
The Pecker page.
The perfect place for it is
Yes.
the Pecker page.
So
We'll put it up on the Pecker page and on our Twitter feed sometime this week, as soon as we can figure out which one's not going to get us in fucking trouble.
or yanked off.
Or yanked off. Yanked off. Sorry.
I didn't say a word.
No, I thought it for everyone. It was great. If it comes to your town or you come to Vegas, it is worth the whole fucking penny that you pay. It's more than a penny. It's cheaper than a strip show, more expensive than a strip joint.
How long was it? No, the show.
50 minutes, not
Wow.
including the 15 to 20 minute fluff that comes in the beginning with the comedian.
Oh, okay. So not including.
Yeah, not including.
So there's an
the-
opening act.
There's an opening act and then 50 of raw cock. It's fucking
But
awesome.
they're making puppets.
Yes, they're bending
It's-
them into shapes, and they made hot dogs and hamburgers and ice cream cones.
Did they crack jokes along the way as well?
Oh God, yes. No, it's a whole show. It's
Okay.
hilarious. Like, some of it's scripted, some of it is audience interactive. So it depends on, like, how's the audience, who's in the audience,
The cat calls that they get.
the cat calls that they get. Right? Yeah. So I mean, they're very good at being off the cuff, but you can tell there is some scripted routine stuff in there as well. But great show. I'm taking these ladies to go see it.
I
I'm
actually
going to take my boyfriend to go see it.
I love improv, so Dick Improv sounds pretty interesting.
It's not quite improv, but it is totally Dick. Like, they do remind you regularly you're at a Dick show in Las Vegas. Because there are some things where they do and you're like, oh, and they're like, wait a minute, folks, you're at a Dick show. So it was great. I loved it. I highly suggest you go see it. They do play internationally. These two guys mentioned that they'd been to London a couple of times. They've been to Italy. It started in Australia with a couple of dudes, but it's all over the world now, and it's playing here. They just signed another 6 months, so 6
Very
months.
cool. Maybe we'll make it a field trip.
We're gonna do it.
Take all the ladies.
It's gonna happen.
Just no touching.
Right. Don't touch, ladies. Fuckers. Ruining it for the rest of us. We might have been able
Did
to get
they-
a soft dingle in,
did-
but no.
Did they stop the show because the lady did they admonish her? Did they tell her
They did, and then the lady walked out, and then afterwards, when we left and we were milling about waiting for the guys to come out and talking to the ladies at the Erotic Heritage Museum, that group of ladies that was there asked for their money back because it was the worst show they'd ever seen. And we're like, it wasn't the worst show you've ever seen. You got chided for smacking a guy on the ass when you're not supposed to, and you got upset and left.
And she tried to touch his cock, right?
She was laughing and joking and having a good time right up until he made, and it wasn't even a rude joke or a rude comment. It was just like an indignant, like, she left marks on my ass, that kind of thing. It wasn't even that. Oh, by the way, they do say fuck a lot. It was great.
Our perfect show for you.
Tis my milieu. It was great. It was fucking awesome. It was
All right.
a fucking dick show.
So we'll have them on soon. Do they have a website? Do you know? Puppetry.
Puppetry of the P. They're at Puppetry of the P all over the place, just the letter P. I think their website is puppetryofthepenis.com, but just Google Puppetry of the Penis, you'll see it.
Yeah.
They're fabulous.
All right. I can't wait. Any idea when we're going to that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I was next door at the Love Boutique, and I saw a discount for tickets, and it would be cheaper to do that than to buy us our 3 tickets individually. So
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait till Toxic gets back, which is going to be a couple of weeks. So
it's probably going to happen after our 300th episode, which is coming up soon. We're going to have details for that.
very soon. We are going to, since we're talking about it, you can find this show and all of our other shows on our website at sincitybounty.com. Our photo galleries are up. They've been updated from last week. I'm going to force Sierra here to take some more selfies so I can add some more photos to her album. Of course, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google+. Next week, we are going to take the week off because Toxie is out of town, and it pushes our 300th show to the end of August. And I believe we're going to shoot for Sunday, the 28th, where we'll do the live show, and I think we're hoping on 2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours for that show with a live audience. We are going to send out special invitations to all of the show hosts who have, here, you hold this while I do this. To all of the show hosts who have been hosts of this show. So, Sweet Cheeks, we're going to invite her. We're going to invite the Nails. Mama. We're going to invite Mama. And of course, one of the originators of the show, Calypso, we're going to be inviting her. For those of you who don't remember, because she was only on with us for a really short time, but Brandy, the fashion icon.
The fashionista
will be inviting her to join us.
Did you mention Desiree and Sweet Cheeks?
I did Sweet Cheeks. Desiree, of course, we're going to invite. And then Glitz, the beautiful blonde bombshell that vied for attention with our Toxie until she left. Now Toxie gets all the men, right?
She does.
We'll be inviting her as well. So, and a lot of our old guests, Jacob Palmer, I do plan on inviting. Maybe
Amazon Amanda.
Yes.
Woo!
So it's going to be a huge deal. We'll give you details every week. Getting up to the time, except for next week, we're going to take a hiatus, just a short break, so we can move our 300th episode to the end of August. So stay tuned for all that.
We also need a couple hours to plan this shit, yo.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So, do you have a curse word of the week? Because we haven't done one in like a couple of weeks. I know of one.
Yes?
I know of one.
All right.
So I saw a meme today. I'm such a lover of memes. And pence in England means penny, of course. And Trump in England means fart. So cheap fart.
It's time for the curse word of the week, brought to you by Sierra from SimCityBounty.com.
Trump Pence, also known as a cheap fart.
So the unveiling of the VP for the Republican Party, of course, was Pence. Was it a Michael Pence?
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, a governor of some place. I don't know anything about him, and I honestly did not read anything about him.
Have no desire to read anything about him.
But from what I understand, he is super conservative. So Trump, to maybe pull in all the other Republicans who were on the fence about him, or just out and out didn't want to have anything to do with him, if he got the most conservative Republican he could find, and put him on the ticket. And I think that's why everybody is alluding to the fact is that's why they picked Mike Pence. And also, Mike Pence isn't popular enough to overshadow the huge ego of Donald Trump. So, but what happened this week was the logo came out. And for those of you who were able to see it before they have pulled it, because I believe it is now gone.
It's gone.
It's everywhere.
But it lives on in the universe.
It lives on the internet. But I believe the campaign has pulled the logo because it was the American flag, the red and white stripes, and the blue part was a T and a P with the downstroke of the T going through the hole of the P. So not only did you have...
Wait. Was the P backwards?
No, it was frontwards.
So not only did you have the TP part...
Because every asshole needs some TP.
Right. But then you also had T going into the hole of P.
Hold on. I'm going to give them a visual reference since you're not willing to do it. Here you go. Okay, visual reference, TP. Total penetration. TP.
Okay, I gotta say this.
Yes.
I'm 68 years old. I have never been so scared in my life politically as I am today.
Can I put you on the Facebook camera?
Sure.
Why don't you turn it around? You're such a dingus.
I am a dingus. Look, there's Johnny
There he
Fever
is.
right there.
Behind the
There he
camera.
goes. He's hiding. That's okay. We'll flip it around.
Shades of Tim Allen.
So
So that happened this week.
yeah.
Let's talk about what happened yesterday.
So
If I lived in Ohio, I'd be moving out.
here's okay. In case you didn't know,
Where do you even start?
I can't. I don't know where to start.
You know what? I'll start with the story. Here, hold this while I tell the story.
You tell a story.
I told this in a couple of sentences on. Oh, God, I hate this chair. On Facebook, my fat ass wants to get into it. Okay, so when
6 others.
I know, it's just because I'm a big girl. A few years ago, my nephew had to do a report for one of his classes in school, and it was on football, a subject he loved. Right, he totally loved football. Anyway, so he made this beautiful illustrated board with team helmets and drawings and everything. It was beautiful, about who was champion, this and that, and everything. And I said, well, let me see. And this was a family event. And so me and his papa, not his dad, but his papa, asked, where's the actual report? Let's hear the report. He says, oh, I haven't made that yet. And his report was due like the next day. And we're like, well, you know, this visual is beautiful. Why don't you tell me what you're going to say then? He goes, well, I'm just going to go get some stuff off the internet. And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I'm not going to say who it was. This person told me that I could just download some stories off the sports website about what I wanted to talk about. I'm like, both me and his papa were like, what? No, reports, I'm sorry, you can copy from the books, but then you have to change the words and sentences around so it's not plagiarism. Replace some words with other words or quote, right. Put little quote marks and then list where you got it from.
In your fucking bibliography, you douchebag.
Not only was this person a person of authority in my nephew's life, he was also a teacher in the Clark County District. A substitute teacher, which is probably why he's not a real teacher, but not that substitute teachers aren't real teachers. But I was incensed. Papa was incensed, and we could not believe that was happening. My dad and mom taught me better, and I'm assuming the parents of my nephew would have taught them better. My sister, of course, do have to say, she didn't know, and so she not jumped on the bandwagon, but she agreed with us that he could not plagiarize his report just by downloading some crap off the internet. So it's a pet peeve of mine because I worked my ass off when I was in school writing all the essays that I ever wrote or did all the reports that I ever did. I remember Sierra and I were talking about book reading contests where you had to write a synopsis of the book after each book so you could get your frickin' award at the end of your week or month or whatever period it was. And you didn't just copy that crap from Cliff Notes or anything, not when you're 7, 8.
You actually had to read the book and put your words on the paper.
Yeah. So when I see other people doing this kind of stuff without attributing the original author or artist or anything like that, really ticks me off. Melania Trump. So
I think that might be all you need to say.
right. So almost everybody knows this story already, right? Melania Trump made a speech last night during the RNC and almost word for word in a few spots in her speech took the exact same words from a speech made by Michelle Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, back in 2008. And I have the exact words written here. And
you want me to be Obama and you be Trump, or do
Okay.
you want me to be Trump and you be Obama?
I don't care.
Okay. Let's see.
I'll be Obama. You be, because you do the dirty voices better, so
do
you can
dirty
make it
voices.
all, immigranty.
Immigranty?
Because she's an immigrant, right?
Oh, Toxie's rolling over in her sleeping bag
She
right
is.
now.
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values, that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say you're going to do, that you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them.
From a young age, my parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond and you do what you say you're going to do and keep your promise, that you treat people with respect. They taught and showed me values and morals in their daily life. Melania, by the way, is Jamaican.
Irish.
No, she's Jamaican.
I heard some Irish in there.
There's a little bit of
that was
okay.
hilarious. Obama in 2008. Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and pass them on to the next generation because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievement is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Melania, 2016. That is a lesson I will continue to pass along to our son, that we need to pass those lessons on to the many generations to follow, because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
That was from Mike.com. The article is posted on our Facebook page. Unbelievable.
She also threw in a Rickroll, for those of you who don't know.
I had to have her explain to me what a Rick roll was
She said,
earlier.
"We're never going to give up. We're never going to let you down." Like, good job, Melania. So apparently Wikipedia wrote Melania Trump's speech for her.
Yes.
So here's the thing. So on the Today Show, when she was interviewed by Matt Lauer, she said that she wrote this with a little bit of help. That she wrote
with
it
as little help as possible.
Right, with as little help as possible. And then, in the 35 and a half seconds it took for the media to realize that she was quoting Michelle Obama for half of her fucking speech, the Trump team had to backpedal. By the way, this is the most backpedalingest political group I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is ridiculous. Every time they do something, they're like, wait, that's not what we really meant to do. They said that there was a team of writers who wrote using her experiences and values in life. And then the rest of the world were like, no, we're pretty sure Michelle Obama wrote this. Whatever.
And even if Michelle Obama didn't write it and she had people write it for her,
she wrote it first.
She did first.
Wait. This is totally a who wore it better moment. Like, totally.
So it's all over Facebook today. If you type in Melania, as soon as you type in Melan, M-E-L-A-N, you'll get Melania Trump, Michelle Obama, and you can just click on any of those. Facebook will give you the search. There are so many videos. Sarah and I just read it back and forth, but there are so many videos of them actually where you'll see Michelle Obama say her one part, and then in the next segment of the video, it's Melania saying her part. I picked the one where it had the actual text of it underneath. Just crazy. And
So
there are a couple of camps about this. One is, the first thing, of course, is everyone blamed the speechwriters. Didn't you have something about the speechwriters, Johnny Fever?
Yes, the two guys who actually wrote the speech for her 6 weeks ago came forward today. Mm-hmm. And they were pretty high-end speechwriters. They wrote for George W. Bush and a bunch of other people. Anyway, they sent the speech in 6 weeks ago. They were asked to write it. And they finally came forward because everybody was saying, we know that politicians don't write their own speech. That's what the speechwriters do. So anyway, they said the speech that she read at the convention is absolutely nothing nothing at all what they wrote. So
she's like, I like the part where it says hello.
yeah.
Everything else I must change.
But they were talking about it. I mean, this has been going on since midnight last night.
Yeah.
And okay, yes, somebody else writes the speech, but the person giving the speech supposedly goes over it, with a highlighter and makes changes and stuff like that. But
so there's a couple of camps here. So there's the let's support Melania, poor Melania. She didn't know what she was reading.
Well, that's
it takes a strong woman. It takes a strong woman to stand up and make a speech. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Any idiot can stand up and read off a piece of paper.
And it's passing the buck. Let's blame the writers.
Right, let's blame the writers. No, motherfucker, this is your speech. How many of you know better than to just read something someone else wrote for you? Come on now. If I did that, shit would be totally fucked up on this show, because you would not get my true sense of me. If I read something that Toxie wrote, it would not be me. If I read something that Alexia wrote, it would not be me. Now, if they wrote something and then I got together and I read it and made a change here and tweaked this and made it sound a little bit more like me and a little bit like this and a little bit more like that, that's the way a speechwriter is supposed to be. Speechwriter comes with a general, like, here's what I think you should say. The speech speaker is supposed to read the speech and make changes to it to fit them.
Now, last week I was talking about how I had to delete quite a few people off of my Facebook personal page because I just didn't want to deal with the kind of stuff that they were posting anymore. And this week, this morning, it was almost the same thing. There are exactly three people in my timeline that are hugely pissed that Melania is getting the ass whooping that she's getting from the internet from this, because she's just the wife. She's the wife of a presidential candidate, number one.
Whoa. Never ever, motherfuckers, should you say the term just the wife.
Right.
You say just the wife, and I want to take you back to Nancy Reagan. You say just the wife, I want to take you back to Jackie O. You say just the wife, and I want to take you to Michelle motherfucking Obama. Now, I may not be a fan of Obama politics, but I am a fan of the Obamas as people. Just the wife is the wrong fucking term to use when referring to the First Lady of the United States of America. Repeatedly, the First Lady of the United States of America is a fucking game changer in our society, and that's the way it should be. Melania Trump, what the fuck kind of game is she going to change for us?
It's going to be okay to do,
plagiarism? That shit.
Or semi-porn.
She should actually be referred to as the first trophy.
The first trophy, that's right.
So I don't even know what I'm going to,
Sorry.
There are three people that I'm probably going to have to delete again because they're just not understanding. Just the plagiarism alone is I don't even care what it was for.
So, number one, when asked about her speech before she gave her speech, she told the world she wrote it. Took full responsibility for it. After she said the speech that she gave, she blamed it. Maybe she didn't directly, but the Trump camp totally blamed it on the speechwriters. And then as we get deeper and deeper into it and we find out that it wasn't the speechwriter's speech that she spoke, everybody's like, well, she's just a woman from a foreign land who doesn't speak English as a first language. Look what a good job she did. I'm like, I could have put a fucking sign language. I could have put Coco. I could have put fucking Coco the gorilla. Fucking sign language, and just off the cuff she would have given a better fucking speech than Melania Trump either wrote or did not write.
They also blamed the Clintons for busting them.
There is a lot of that as well. There is the whole not the fact that Melania plagiarized the speech, but that yes, it was the Clintons who put her in the position of having to give this speech that was plagiarized.
I'm pretty sure it's Trump who's been putting her in the position.
When you don't have a defense for something, a lot of the vitriol you're going to hear now is Billary. That's the name for Hillary and Bill Clinton, and
Billary.
The horrible things that they have done, and why aren't they in jail? And of course, all of that comes out again. So,
listen, this political climate, if you're voting for the two, if you're going to go party A or party B, you're choosing to quote my favorite South Park episode ever, a bag of flaming dog shit and a turd sandwich. Like, that's what you're choosing from in this political
the lesser
season.
of two evils?
There's no such thing as the lesser of two evils. Evil minus evil is still fucking evil. Vote third party, Gary Johnson, 2016.
I have actually seen a lot of that on my timeline as everybody is checking out Gary Johnson. Who is the other?
There's the Green Party.
It's a woman. I can't.
Well,
can't
it was
her name.
Elizabeth Warren, but she's not running anymore.
No, she's a Democrat. She's a Democrat through and through.
She was running something else last time.
No, she refused to run for president. I would have voted for Elizabeth Warren if she ran for president.
I might have voted for her.
We're better off with her in the Senate.
She's doing a bang up job.
A much better job in the Senate.
I think Condoleezza Rice would have made an amazing president.
Condoleezza Rice as a Republican?
Yeah. She is a Republican.
Yeah.
She's a black woman Republican who had.
She was pretty awesome. Yeah, I kind of liked her.
She was very liberal Republican. Like I totally could have dug her. She was very much a. We need special ops. We send the special ops in. We blow the shit up. We come home, say sorry. This is what we did. Like, I like that. Kind of the way I think we should do it.
So we have just about, 3 minutes left?
2. Johnny Fever says we get 2.
Okay. So Danny Mathers, who is the 2015 Playmate of the Year, was posted a photo on her Snapchat of a woman taking a shower in the gym. And the picture that she posted along with that picture was a picture of her holding her hand over her mouth as if she was trying to stifle laughter. And she said, if I see it, then you see it.
Yeah, if I can't unsee it, then you can't
Right.
unsee it, or something like that. So basically what she's doing is, okay, here's the thing that I hate. So you don't think fat people should be fat, but you make fun of fat people at the gym. I want to know where the fucking logic is in that.
Right.
So here is a fat girl at the gym who's done sweating, who is now clearly washing the sweat off her body, which disgusting 2015 Playmate of the Year did not do because she looks fucking greasy in her photo. Minding her own goddamn business in the shower by herself, by the way. Danny had to sneak up to take that fucking picture.
She did. She took it from outside of the shower enclosure. You can see the doorway where she took the picture. And, of course, she pulled it down, and she has tried to apologize for it.
You can't apologize for that shit.
But not after she got rolled over by my true love right now, the internet, and for her body shaming. She has been stripped of her title. She has been stripped of her gym membership.
She's been kicked out of the fucking Playboy Mansion.
And I believe she is also
20 seconds.
going to, she's been kicked off the radio show that she was going to do. And I also believe that,
We have 5 seconds left.
I can't remember. I'm Alexia.
This is Sierra.
We'll see you next week. Or no, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Later, bitches.
Bye, guys. Say bye.